Hey you guys, welcome back to FVSD Life. My name's Bronwyn and today I'll be telling you guys part 2 of me talking about my brain condition. If you enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter, so please follow me there as well. So I was forwarded to adult neurology when I was about 18 or 19. Well, no, when I was about 16 or 18, I can't really remember. It completely changed my life. The first neurologist that I saw, Dr. Rebecca Liu, she first wanted to look into the epilepsy side because, as I told you guys from last week, they didn't even bother looking. And she was surprised because when she asked my mum about her having epilepsy, my mum said to her that my mum's epilepsy was caused by lack of oxygen, some brain lack of oxygen during birth, which caused her brain damage. And so the neurologist wanted to look into the epilepsy properly, so she sent me in for some tests. One which was an EEG, and another one which is a sleep deprived EEG, which meant that I had to stay awake for 24 hours, which wasn't that hard, it was a bit hard towards the end. And then I had to go in for the tests after 24 hours, all of which came back negative. So I was then forwarded, when I then saw the doctor again, and she pretty much said, but if there's nothing wrong, there's clearly not epilepsy with you, so we're going to take you off the anti-epileptic medication, which was brilliant. But the thing is, because you've clearly got nothing wrong, I'm going to discharge you. I was angry, to put it bluntly. I said to her, no, you haven't looked properly. I want you to give me an MRI scan. And she said, no, you're clearly fine. And as you guys know from last week, the whole reason why I was sent to neurology was because of me having blanking out spells. And I was like, I can't live like this without any answers. And she said, no, I understand, but the thing is, there's nothing wrong. And I stood up, stamped my feet, and I said to her, well, I made a little deal and said to her, if you do the MRI scan and nothing comes back, you don't have to see me ever again. And she was like, well, I don't know. I said, please, this is all I want is an MRI scan. And she was like, okay. And so she sent me for the MRI scan, which was a basic one. It's just a basic MRI of my brain. I had that done, and then I think about a week, maybe 2 weeks later, I received another hospital appointment for me to have another MRI of my brain. But it said contrast dye. I didn't understand what it meant until I asked my mum, and she said it helps show, if there's any issues, it helps show them more, and it helps to make them more clearer for the radiologists and the neurologists too. And so I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I did that. Less than 3 weeks later, I was called back to see my neurologist. Me and my mum were sitting in the waiting room. We were waiting, we were anxious. We were at Queen Square, which was really weird because we hadn't been there before. But she was really desperate to see me. We were sitting there waiting, twiddling our thumbs, and my neurologist was running around. She looked so horrified and scared, and me and mum were really confused. We were like, what is going on? And she was pacing back and forth. She had a huge bundle of paperwork, which was my paperwork, and she kept walking in and out of a man's office, and she just looked shocked and horrified. But after a while, she did call us in, and she sat us down. She said, she was a bit shaken, and she said, hi, how are you? And we said, yeah, we're okay. And she said, I've got your results back from the MRI. And I said, okay. She pulled it up, and I was diagnosed with a Arnold Kyrie malformation type 1, which means I've got an extra bit of bone at the top of my spine. And I was also diagnosed with a low-lying brain, which was like this close to the bit of bone. And she said the low-lying brain is possibly due to me being premature at birth. And she also diagnosed me with a pituitary cyst, which she told me was 13 millimeters in size. And she also diagnosed me with a pineal lesion as well. And all of these issues, I broke down crying. I was absolutely horrified. I knew there was something wrong, I just didn't realise it was something this major. And my mum, she was shocked. She was holding me. The neurologist took my hand and she said, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "It's fine, it's okay, it's not your fault." And so she then referred me to and she said to me she wanted me to be referred to a neurosurgeon because of the size of the pituitary cyst. And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right then." And so I just, oh my God, I was reeling. I was shocked and horrified. I was like, what in the world? The blanking out spells, it's never been linked to food evaporate syndrome or FVSD. And we asked people said their children have epilepsy, but with me, it was just nothing. But when I was diagnosed with all these brain conditions, my mum put it up in a support group, and she actually had a few responses saying, actually, my child has this too. And I can't believe it, you know, like something like this with my brain is linked to fetal valproate spectrum disorder now. I was horrified. And so, yeah, I was sent to the neurosurgeon 3 weeks after the appointment with my neurologist. He called me in, he was calm, he was absolutely calm. But he did say the risk of surgery is so dangerous. Brain surgery is dangerous anyways. And he said to me, because of all the things that's wrong with me, it could kill me. If he operated, I could die. I could get bleeding on the brain, which could mean a stroke. I could become paralysed from the neck down. And he said to me, he just didn't want to risk operating on me because I was such a young girl. And I was like, no, I understand. And so, and he said, as long as it's been kept an eye on, it's fine. And I was like, okay. And then I went back to see my neurologist. She didn't really look into blanking out spells anymore because these brain conditions took priority, which I understand. But I'm left with these blanking out spells where I just didn't understand what was going on. So she kept an eye on the brain, on the cysts and the pineal lesion, and then she was unfortunately moved to Queen Square, which does happen with the neurologists at Watford General. I was then referred to another neurologist, who, in my opinion, was not the best one for me. He always focused on the tests and on the results. He didn't focus on me, the patient, which left me just feeling like nothing, you know. He didn't want to focus on me. And then he did. And also need to mention, my first neurologist, when I was an adult, she asked me if I ever got tingling or shooting pains in my hands or feet. I had to tell them. I did start getting shooting pains in my hands and feet, I still do. I told him, and he said, okay, well, we'll look into that. I got poked and prodded, and I was told that I've got mild arthritis in my elbows. And, well, I've got arthritis in my elbows. And then I think the best thing about him is that he forwarded me to a mental health team who diagnosed me with anxiety and depression because of how low I was. And but me and Mum hated him so much. And then I was very happy when he went somewhere else, and then I got a new one who I am now. She's still not the best because she won't focus on me. All she does is the MRI scans, calls me in, okay, everything's still here, you still got them, and then she'll talk to me for a little bit. But the thing is, I do get emotional because I feel like I'm not being listened to, and which is understandable, right? And she always puts me down as a really emotional person, but I'm like, well, you're taking it out of context. You know I'm emotional because I'm not being listened to. And so, yeah, and I haven't been called to the hospital yet, which is annoying because I do want to be called in. To this day, I still have no answers about the blanking out spells. Me and my mum strongly believe it's linked to either the pituitary cyst or the pineal lesion, because we've done research where doctors have actually made the connection and said the blanking out spells are linked to a pituitary cyst. My pituitary cyst has since grown from 13 millimetres. About 2 or 3 years ago, I was told that it was 15 millimetres. And since then, I've been told it's grown. I've not been told what size, which is really annoying because I'm the patient, I should know. I don't know about anything else. I've been getting pain in the back of my neck, which I did tell my neurologist about, who gave me another scan, but it was for my spine. She said everything was fine. I was like, well, it's not clearly because I'm getting pain in the back of my neck. I suffer from migraines, which I'll talk to you about another day because it's such a long topic. I have more questions than answers right now, to be fair. How big are these cysts? How long will I live? This is something that could potentially kill me, you know? I can't drive. I've made my peace with I can never drive because of the blanking out spells. These blanking out spells have gotten so much more worse lately, especially during the pandemic. My mum's really worried about me too. She's really scared about what's going to happen to me and about my future. I don't think I would ever be able to hold down a job because of the blanking out spells. Well, who would hire someone who would blank out while I'm talking to them? You know, who would? Yeah, it's heartbreaking, you know. But yeah, those are the things that's wrong with me. I'm going to wrap it up now because I feel like I've probably just rambled on a little bit as well. So I'm going to tie it up there, and if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, next week there'll be a story from a young man named Jake, and he's also has fetal alpha spectrum disorder. And so yeah, alright then, I'm going to wrap it up now, guys. Alright, stay safe, bye.